Hello everyone, this is Venkatesh, your host for the podcast Leading Self and Others. Today we are going to talk on the topic Recognize Your Gifts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leading Self and Others podcast, a podcast exclusively based on how you can effectively lead your life and the people around you, anywhere, any place. Every week, you'll be provided with some nourishing dose of thought-provoking and influential messages. Here is your host, Venkatesh, human resources professional, leadership speaker, and author of 2 acclaimed books, Rise to Lead You and You and Your World.
Within you, there is a treasure. Yes. When you are born in this universe, a part of universe gets invested in you. It implies that you are nothing short to greatness, but failed to choose to express it. Too many times we don't know who we are and start believing only on our weaknesses, what we lack or what we miss, the mistakes we did, the families we came from, and so on. And by doing so, we put ourselves in a poor light and stop giving ourselves a chance to pursue greatness. Remember this, no human being is incapable of doing what he or she intends to do. If you can't do one thing successfully, you wouldn't have imagined that at the first place. In other words, if you can imagine, you can do it. Your inner strengths are hidden deep in your soul, and you ultimately have the choice to become aware of what they are, and the same applies to your weaknesses too. Yes, understanding your weaknesses is quite easier than knowing your strengths, because that is how we all have grown up. It is quite easier for us to look at the negatives than the positives. So, when carefully observed, we note that great persons are not the ones who get carried away with their weaknesses. Rather, they find ways to their inner strengths to overpower all their weaknesses. If you can't throw away your weaknesses, it is possible to overpower your weaknesses through your strengths. Your strengths can be found and utilized by only one way: putting your ideas and thoughts to the test. Most of the times we all live in a false world where we do not take action but only imagine what we should not and what might happen. Whatever your intention could be, just put it in action with no too much of thinking of what if happens, what if it gone wrong, but what if. So these things will always pull you back. It will never allow you to take any positive steps further. By taking action and getting into the real world of life, you realize what you do well and what you don't. Yes, you know about yourself only by doing. You will not know what you are good at or what you are bad at until you put in action. From there, you got to tune yourself to take right measures to improve your strengths by taking more concrete steps and overpower your abstract weaknesses. Only you can choose to dig and bring out your inner strength, which is much bigger than your weaknesses and tough circumstances. Yeah, your inner strengths is much bigger than your weaknesses and tough situations. From now on, decide to choose to become aware of your inner world where all of your strengths live, and the way you choose to see the world in you would be the way your external world will react to you. Your strengths alone will not make you feel great to make a life of greatness. Besides, you need personal values that are good to you as well as others. If you remain against the world's positivity, you are against your own self and you become the greatest underprivileged human. Humans are a bundle of myriad skills and abilities. Think about it. You wouldn't have made it this far in your life if you didn't have any of them. A huge part of who you are presently is made up of these skills and abilities that you are already gifted with. You need to feel great about yourself, recognizing all the abilities that you have. You need to begin with open heart and mind. You need to stop picturing yourself how unremarkable or what a disappointing you are. No, please stop picturizing yourself negatively. If not, these kind of thoughts will keep your heart and mind remain closed. Take a paper or notebook and start writing all your abilities, skills, gifts, and be utmost honest with you. You can also write your related experiences or stories about them. Start with simpler ones and continue till you feel more comfortable writing about your bigger skills. Because initially you will find struggling, you will find difficult to write down the skills or abilities or the good things you have. But instead of judging yourself, start giving yourself a space to write something simpler, no matter how small it is or no matter how big it is. Do not judge yourself, just write it down. To judge you, there are other persons available in the whole world. You don't judge yourself. So start writing and continue it. For example, from your handwriting to singing to problem solving to creativity, many things are there. Writing this for half an hour will make you feel instantly great about yourself. It keeps you thinking and focused on those capabilities you have. I remind you, initially it would test you, it would challenge you to write down the skills, but do not give up. Do not judge yourself. Just give yourself time and start writing. But if you start, do not stop until you are done. You could create a mindset that is oriented towards positive things about you. Look then for ways to utilize it more on what you wrote. Start improving on what you are not so good at and upgrade with what you wish to improve more. So this is it for this episode. I hope this will be an insightful and inspiring episode. So I request and suggest you to take action for pursuing greatness. All the very best. And this is Venkatesh. Thanks for listening.
Last but never the end, buckle up to get inspired and more realistic thoughts from Venkatesh. Make sure to subscribe now, just so you don't miss any episode. If you think this podcast has inspired you and may help someone you care, please share. Leading self and others.